And 6 years later, it wasn't working. They weren't solving their problems. They couldn't agree on things. They couldn't find unanimity. They couldn't raise the taxes. The debts weren't being paid. In other words, they had a real economic and financial crisis because they weren't a United Nations. They were 13 independent states essentially going to a General Assembly and saying we should do this and that, but they couldn't actually do it. And a very clever political entrepreneur came along, and he figured out through some pretty deft maneuvers, by the way, that we need a new charter. And he led to the convening of what became the Constitutional Convention in Philadelphia in the summer of 1787. And this politician is named James Madison. Mm-hmm. We know him today as the father of the U.S. Constitution. What he was at the time was a very clever, rather brilliant Virginia politician who had to convince these 13 independent nations, hey, you better give some of your sovereignty to a federal government that can actually have some tax authority.